Tell you what, idiots fall for scams all day long, and I used to be one of them. But you know what I've learned? I've learned that not everything is a scam that gets you rich quick. In fact, if it doesn't get me rich quick, I'm not interested in it usually because I want to go places. I got this one life to live. So how do you tell the difference between what is and what isn't a scam? Today, I'm going to share with you the difference between the two. I'm also going to share with you 5 things that smell like scam, but guess what? They're legit.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Man, this whole conversation, get rich quick, it gets me kind of hot and bothered.
Oh, it's hot. It's like hot.
Because most people, like most things in life, financially get it wrong. You know, it's amazing to me that poor people love taking advice from poor people. And guess what that produces? More poor people. You know what? Poor people are usually financially relatively uneducated, and yet they're the ones dishing out the advice. And guess what? People think, well, I know you, you're poor, I'm poor, I'll listen to you. You know what? If people would just change one little thing, their world would financially look different. And that's that they should be taking advice from people that are already at where they want to be. People with a track record, people that are good at making money, people that understand that world. Because I want to share with you a strange little secret. The people that are getting rich, it's happening quickly most of the time. You know how weird it is to actually be making a video saying that get rich quick is good? I get it. There's counterfeits out there. There's garbage out there. It's because we have this really weird stigma. Getting rich quick is often thought of as a scheme. It's true that there are no secrets to getting rich overnight, but there are some repeatable, proven systems to help you become rich quickly. Do not confuse smart financial plays with actual scams like Ponzi schemes and all sorts of other things like that. At the end of the day, if I can't get rich in the next couple of years on an idea that I'm working on, I usually won't touch it in the first place. Now listen, at the end of the day, I'm not telling you that you should try to get rich in the next 2 or 3 years with an idea. I've built up to a level where I'm now looking at 8 and 9-figure deals. Because in the beginning, $1 million used to be a lot for me. And the game was, how do I make $1 million in a handful of years? I made $1.6 million with real estate by the time I was 26 years old. It took me less than 5 years to do that. But because I've gotten better at the game, I'm now playing bigger games because money is just that. It's a game. And at the end of the day, if it's too good to be true and you assume that means it's a scam, you're going to miss out on the things that the wealthy are often doing that create a lot of money. My motivation for today is to share with you 5 investments that people are often super skeptical about that are actually real if you do them correctly. Let's take a look at the first one. Let's actually talk about stocks. Now, if you're a subscriber on my channel, you're thinking, what? Is Kris Krohn talking about stocks? Listen, you better believe that I believe in entrepreneurship, business, buying and selling companies, and that's all the stock market is. It's actually owning a piece of a publicly traded company. What I don't mean when I say stocks is 401ks, IRAs, mutual funds, index funds, like people that are like, let's play it safe. Let's try to make money over 942 years by taking like an average of all of these companies and trying to earn single-digit ROIs. Like that's never going to get you anywhere. But you know what? I'm going to show you a couple of stocks that if you could go back in time just 7 years ago, would blow your mind. Everybody knows that Netflix is like a big deal today. But do you think people understood that 7 years ago? Apparently not. Because if you had a time machine and can go buy some Netflix stock 7 years ago, you would have found since that it's grown 23,000%. That means a person puts in $1,000 in that company then, and 7 years later, turns that into $230,000. Or maybe you had some foresight with Amazon, like, hey, that guy will one day be the richest dude in the world, Bezos. 21,000% ROI over 7 years with multiple splits. Even companies like this, Shopify. Like, did you know that 7 years ago, if you had bought some then, today it'd be worth 6,700% more, as in $1,000 becomes $67,000? If that doesn't look like get rich quick, I don't know what does. So, does Kris Krohn own stocks?
Tell me!
Of course I do. I'm diversified in owning a number of different companies that represent the future to me. For example, do I think electrical vehicles are going to be out there on the road in a matter of years for everyone to drive? Yeah, but Tesla's not the only company. You should check out a company called Workhorse. Literally, they've developed like the commercial vehicle that is the electrical. Or who's gonna literally replace all these semi-jobs? Number one job in America. Electrical vehicles, they have their place, their time is coming. You should be looking into the future, AI, you should be looking at biomedical, and you should ask, with 5G coming and taking downloads from like freaking 4 hours down to like 10 seconds, how do you get in on that action? Listen, if you wanna make a lot of money, check out number 2. I call it deal making, right? We, for whatever reason, have this strange notion that whatever we do, we have to do all by ourselves. We're just trained to be lone wolves. And yet rich people, they always make sure that they are not the smartest person in the room. They're always surrounding themselves with really smart people. Let me define what deal making really means. It means bringing together potential partners and using OPM, other people's money, and an established team can pay you enormous dividends. Don't know what I'm talking about? Do you know how many people are out there literally bringing this opportunity to this buyer, put them together, get a piece of the action for yourself, and guess what? You're making tons of money. Let me show you how I do it. This is just one way. It's real estate, right? Like if you're a subscriber on my channel, you know that I talk a little bit about this because this is how I literally make millions and millions and millions of dollars each and every year. But what I'm really doing is I'm just really good at finding really good deals through a team that I've established. And I'm really good at finding people that have money that want those deals. And when I marry the deal and the funds together, what that does is it creates a payday for me. Now, you don't have to do this just in real estate. It could be a commercial deal. It could be a multifamily deal. It could be a business deal. Literally, deal making exists all over the planet. What you do is you get good at saying, instead of, oh, I got to do it all by myself, you break the mold and you say, all right, there's a cool idea. If I bring this component and this inventor and this person's money, if I can bring all these unique pieces together, I'm probably going to get a big piece of the action. Psst, did you actually know that I have people all over the world that follow me here on this channel and they actually participate in deal finding with me? They literally go out there, they find people with money, they bring them to me to do my real estate deals, and with those people, I split everything 50-50. I could take $50,000 and over 20 years potentially turn that into over $4 million. Sounds pretty amazing, and since I've done it to the tune of $1 billion in transactional real estate history, a lot of people see my track record and they're comfortable getting on board. But you know those people that find them for me, I call them mavericks. And what I do is I take my 50% ownership and I split it equally with them. As in, here is 100% of the deal that we just did. This is the person that you found that brought the money and they're gonna get 50% of the pie for doing that. Well, this other half of the pie is normally mine because I'm the active partner, I'm doing all the work. But you see that line split right across? I'm actually taking my 50%, cutting in half with the deal maker. Literally, that could be you finding someone with money that wants to do my deals earning 25, 30, 35% annual ROI, and guess what? I give you the piece of the action. If you make it a point to study very successful people and ask their origin story, like, where did you begin?
Who am I? You sure you want to know?
You know what most of them share in common? They got involved in the game of selling. They learned the art of influence. They learned how to take an object and get someone to buy it. Turns out that that tends to be an essential skill for making a lot of money in real estate business, just about every industry. So number 3, what I want to talk to you about, sales, because actually it can very much so be get rich quick. Sales is where you go when you start realizing I need to make $50,000 to $100,000 more a year than just what my expenses are. That's the mistake most people make. They say my expenses are $60,000 a year and they have a job that pays them $65,000 a year. And you know what? They're screwed because they're thinking I'm winning because my head's above water and I'm paying my bills. Here's what they don't know. You need an extra $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 a year minimally so that you can go buy a couple of deals, so you can go buy a business, so that you can invest in the stock market. You need money to make money for you. You gotta stop being a slave to it, and having it work for you is how you end that game. Salespeople consistently earn well above average for their age group and education level. You should actually make it a study to ask, what does the average person earn in this country? What are the best paying professions? And guess what, at the end of the day, sales. But a lot of people think, that smells like get rich quick, or that's scammy. I don't want to be a used car salesman. Well, listen, the people who are bad at it can definitely come across with that nasty commission breath. But if you learn the real art of it, which is the art of persuasion and communication. And if you learn how to do it the right way, it can not only be one of the best paying opportunities, but it'll give you the money to invest and grow and basically get where you want to go in life. And if you didn't know, check it out. I'm actually currently hiring. Like, my global brand is just continuing to expand and scale. And I'm looking for people that say, Kris, I love you and your brand and your company and what you represent and how you change people's lives with millions of views every day and blah, blah, blah. Hey, you're saying I could make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year working for you? There's another link below and I'll show you how that works. You know, I love real estate. And what I love about it is that I get to do deals that often require no money whatsoever. Think about it, controlling a really big expensive asset, but not putting any money up and then selling it later and making $100,000, $500,000. Can you try imagining calculating your ROI when you've got no money in, but all that money is flowing back? It's what's called an infinite ROI. And I do that in real estate literally every single day. But there's a different game you can play with the same skill set that will make you even more money. And you know what that is? Buying and selling businesses. If you can find a successful small business and purchase it as the owner, you can capitalize on profit without putting in any of the initial work. Now, I'm not saying that every business is literally available for free. It does take money to make money. They just never really specified whose money, which means that you got to get good at spotting really good deals and then finding people with the money, putting it together and creating win-wins. Check this out. If you want to know where you go in your local market to find a really good business that you might want to buy, here's what you do. Step one, go to Google and type in business brokers. This should pull up geographically in your area companies like agents, and their job is to literally represent people who have companies for sale. Number two, select a website that buys and sells these businesses, and most of them will give you basic information so that you can get a feel for, oh, this business costs $100,000 but makes $50,000 in profit a year. Now, that's interesting. But then the next one says, this business is for sale for $100,000 but makes $200,000 of profit a year. That's more intriguing. This business is for sale for $50,000 and it makes $80,000 a year. And you start looking at the lineup and you start realizing, wait a second, I got to figure out this game. Like, this is amazing. That person's selling that business for $50,000 and this economy might be desperate. And you could do seller financing, as in, hey, can I give you $5,000 down? Will you finance the rest of it? Maybe I'll make $500 a month payments while I take over the business. Before you know it, you got into that business with little and often no money down out of pocket. Now, you've probably heard of drop shipping. Like, I'm going to go get products from China and sell them on my Amazon site and sell them and try to make a little bit of money. But have you actually heard of this one? Drop shipping services. It's the same type of concept, but it's based on the fact that in your local market where you live, you have people, handymen, contractors, construction workers that are saying, I'll fix your blinds, I'll replace your windows, I'll replace your roof, let me throw some sod down on the ground, let me help you fix your garden. Everyone's looking for a side hustle, but none of those people really know how to market online. But there's geniuses, like in the link below, if you click it, I'll actually show you how dumb it is to create some simple online ads that will allow you to find work for all of these people that are looking for it, and you get to earn a piece of the action. And you know what? That can add up into a steep amount of money, as in, I got my buddy Steve over here that started this a year ago with me, and you know what? He flashed me a picture from his bank account. Aside from upgrading his house, his vehicles, boat, and all that, he has $300,000 extra sitting in the bank. Listen, you can literally learn how to do the same thing. Check it out. Dropship services by connecting local service persons with endless leads and taking a portion of the cut. Like, let me show you what that looks like. So if you take a look at this model, you got a customer and they're looking for something on their house that needs to be fixed or done. And you know what? They don't go for referrals. They'll often go right to like a Facebook ads page and fill something out. That's you. I can show you how to do that for like super, super cheap. And then all of a sudden you connect them with the service provider. And at the end of the day, the person gets what they wanted. They got to work with a handyman that was not online. You help make the connection, so you get paid. Perhaps the most important takeaway from today's video is to second guess this notion that get rich quick is bad. Because in my world, if you knew how much money I made in so many different businesses and verticals, it's mind-blowing. It looks like I'm breaking that rule every single day. And the truth is, I am. You should start small, but you should question the status quo and go bigger and bigger and bigger. Today, I've shared with you that there's crazy good money to make in stocks, Or deal making, like literally you could become one of my deal makers, click the link below and learn about becoming a maverick in the game of real estate. You don't need money, you're like a zero cash partner. Or sales, like right now I'm hiring, or go find another sales job where you can make some good money. There's a link below on that. Buying businesses, I showed you how to do that. And then drop shipping, like if you want to work from home and provide a service to the construction workers, contractors, and handyman and women that really don't know how to do the online marketing, there's huge money in that. All of these, and certainly combined, can make you rich quick. Well, check it out. Purpose of today's video was to get you to question the status quo and realize that, you know what, there is some garbage get rich quick crap out there, but guess what? There's also legitimate opportunities for making a lot of money in a very short period of time. I hope I've turned you on to some of them, and hopefully I've made you a subscriber. If you're not, like, just fix that right now. And guess what? While I mentioned it took me 4.5 years to become financially free, truth is I have documented a way to do it in just 3 years. And so if I had to go back in time, I would want the 3-year plan. And so guess what? You can check this video right now and I'll share it with you right now. I learned how to smell a dirty rat. Smells horrible.
Maybe a little faster. Idiots fall for scams, right?
Thanks. Idiots fall for scams. I used to be one of them.